Welcome back everyone, this is going to be my brand new Batman video for the Flash movie. We just got our first footage of Ben Affleck's Batman. There's a bunch of Easter eggs, so we'll break it all down. We also know what he's doing in the other parts of the movie as well, so I'll explain that. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. It's just getting started. We're getting ready for a big DC fandom event in October. That's when we'll be seeing more footage for the Matt Reeves Batman movie, probably the next big trailer, also probably some sort of teaser trailer for the Flash movie. I'll also explain what's going on during the timeline of the Flash movie here and where this fits in relative to the Justice League Snyder Cut ending scenes, the epilogue, the post-credit scenes, because they had that whole epilogue showing all the characters and what they were doing next, right after the events of the movie. And even though I think everybody understands this, if it wasn't clear, the Flash movie is directly connected to the Zack Snyder DC movies like Justice League, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, so that's the whole reason that they're bringing Ben Affleck's Batman back, because they're also doing a Flashpoint story. So I know there's a lot of questions about how much of the Flashpoint story they're doing. But if you weren't aware, they've been filming the Flash movie for a good long while now. We've got a whole bunch of teasers and scenes so far. I've done a couple videos for those, so I'll put links in the description below. We've seen Ezra Miller's Flash inside Michael Keaton's Batcave, just freaking out like, wait a minute, what's going on? Where am I? But what's happening in these new Ben Affleck Batman scenes that they just released during the Flash movies? He's chasing down these criminals, driving this military spec Humvee through the streets of Gotham City. If you couldn't tell from the architecture, this is meant to be Gotham City, his Gotham City on the Justice League Earth. Because this is a multiverse movie, we'll be visiting multiple versions of Earth. The whole thing with Ben Affleck's Batman, though, you probably notice, is that the new Bat-Cycle probably looks familiar. It looks like a combination of the Bat-Cycle from Batman White Knight and some unused concept art from the Justice League Snyder Cut. You may remember Zack Snyder had a Bat-Cycle that almost made it into the movie. It's a little bit shorter and stubbier than this one, and it doesn't use wheels, it uses jets to maneuver around. But you can see how Zack Snyder thought this out. It would have remotely summoned to him wherever he was, and he'd mount it vertically like this, and then shift it into the horizontal position and take off. He probably couldn't use it to fly super high in the atmosphere or anything like a true jet, but he could probably use it to make some pretty wicked jumps. It just seems like Andy Muschietti, the Flash movie people, decided to take a more traditional approach with their Bat-Cycle. But zoom and enhance, it's got two wheels in the front, an extra fat one in the back, and it's covered in the same type of armor as his ship, the Batmobile from Justice League Snyder Cut. It's made from the same material. Makes sense. There was also the very Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Bat Tank from the end of the Justice League Snyder Cut too. You have to imagine that that exists somewhere in this world too. The version of the Batman suit that it looks like he's wearing is a slightly tuned up hybrid of his Batman v Superman leather armor suit, the Frank Miller looking Dark Knight Returns suit, and the hardcore armor suit from Justice League. Like a lighter weight suit with extra armor laid on top to protect his arms, back, exposed areas while he's riding the Bat-Cycle. You can also see the scaled looking armor plating protecting his spine and his back. And even though you don't see his cape, he could be going capeless, yes, but my early guess is that they're just doing the cape as a special effect because it's easier to film that way. They're also doing the exact same thing for Supergirl's cape in the movie too. If you haven't seen the Supergirl scenes that were released earlier this year, you can see her during a couple different scenes, a fight scene and then just a regular scene of her floating in the air, and while she's on the wires here being hoisted up as if she were flying, there's a couple of these moments where she doesn't have a cape on set, just because they're going to add it with special effects later. If you don't remember, Zack Snyder often did the same thing for Henry Cavill's Superman scenes when he was doing a fight scene or there was a lot of action. He would just go capeless and then add the cape later with special effects. The design language of her Superman suit, her crest, is the same as Henry Cavill's Superman. It just tunes slightly differently, and the color scheme of her suit looks a little bit more like the Injustice Supergirl suit. They haven't completely explained whether or not she comes from Michael Keaton Batman Earth, or if she's going to come from somewhere else in the multiverse, or if she comes from the main Justice League Earth. We'll probably find out about that when they release the first trailer. The reason why I think this Ben Affleck scene might be happening earlier in the movie is just because I think they want to show you that things for Ben Affleck's Batman after the events of the Justice League Snyder Cut post-credit scene are just business as usual in Gotham. Like, they're not going to do any of the huge overarching plot from the Justice League sequels in the Flash movie, like the big dark side stuff that they were teasing. They'll probably reference some of the previous adventures they had, like fighting aliens just a little while ago. But I think a little time will have gone by and he's just been doing his regular Batman crime-fighting activities since the end of Justice League. Like, what better way to convey that than to introduce him in the movie in the middle of a chase scene or a fight scene with him being full Batman. Just business as usual, going around beating the crap out of criminals. The other big thing that Andy Muschietti, the director, said they're doing with his Batman in the movie is that Ben Affleck's Batman is going to give the Flash his brand new Flash suit, like he'll build it for him. The one that they showed off in the teaser at DC Fandom last year, I'm just going to call that his multiverse suit for now. As you can see, it's a huge upgrade. You can see the Speed Force energy arcing all over it. It looks a little bit more comic booky. I'm assuming that a lot of this will be done with special effects, and that's probably why we haven't seen him wearing it around in broad daylight yet. They also said that Ben Affleck's Batman has this huge emotional component in the movie. My assumption is that that's part of the Flashpoint storyline with the death of Barry's mother, because Batman lost both of his parents, and obviously because we have Michael Keaton's Batman, who has pretty much the exact same backstory. He lost both his parents as well in Crime Alley, just like Ben Affleck's Batman. I don't know if they're going to do the actual letter scene to sort of tag things at the end from the comic book in the animated Justice League Flashpoint movie, but in that original story, it was Thomas Wayne, his father, Batman's father, who wrote him the letter. What they might wind up doing, early theory, is that they'll just do a twist on that where Michael Keaton's older Batman writes his younger self, Ben Affleck's Batman, a version of that letter. Why is old Batman writing his younger self some advice on life? I know a lot of people are wondering if this is going to be Ben Affleck's last time as Batman. My assumption now is never say never, but I think for now they'll just end the movie. He will still be Batman on the main Justice League Earth. It's not like they're going to kill him off or retcon him or anything like that, so I wouldn't worry about that kind of stuff. You may remember just a little while ago too, there was a bunch of special trailer footage that leaked out. And yes, I did see it, but I can't put it in this video. It just shows the Flash in his new Flash suit teaming up with Michael Keaton's Batman, who's in a version of the Batpod, his jet from the Batman 1989 movie, also with Supergirl, all of them teaming up for a big fight scene. There were a lot of other scenes that they showed inside Michael Keaton's Batcave with them walking around. It looks like an upgraded version of the Batcave scenes from the Batman 1989 movie, as you would expect. I think they'll release that footage at the new DC Fandom event happening in October this year. This is him as Bruce Wayne towards the end of the movie at the Central City Courthouse steps as Ezra Miller's Flash comes out with Iris West at the end of his father's trial and after they've cleared his name in the death of Barry's mother, because that's obviously a big part of the film too. Barry's still trying to get his father out of prison. Supergirl is also here in this scene too. Barry seems happy. That's why everyone thinks this is from later in the movie as opposed to the beginning of the movie. If you're not a car person either, that new car that Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne is driving, this is a brand new Mercedes Maybach model. So Batman driving really expensive, really cool cars has always been a thing. Michael Keaton's Batman obviously coming from the Earth where all the Tim Burton Batman movies took place. I'm just going to call that the Burtonverse for now. We could also call that Earth 89. That's what they did during Crisis on Infinite Earths. And because of the Ezra Miller, Grant Gustin crossover scene from Crisis on Infinite Earths, you could say that all of that is canon to the Justice League multiverse that they're doing in the Flash movie. Everything is canon now because of the multiverse. We joke, but that's kind of the concept that they were talking about during the last big DC Fandom event last year, when they released the first teaser trailer for the movie. During that Crisis on Infinite Earths scene, they just had a Michael Keaton Batman Earth 89 cameo scene. That was Robert Wuhl's Alexander Knox from the Batman 1989 movie reading the Gotham Globe newspaper from the movie. There were also a bunch of other scenes and big Easter eggs that didn't make it into the actual episodes, like this other newspaper saying that he was about to get married to Selena Kyle's Catwoman. And if you don't remember the other things they've said about Michael Keaton's Batman in the movie, what they've explained is the movie will treat Batman Forever and Batman and Robin as if those movies happened in another reality. They're just using the events of the Tim Burton Batman movies for Michael Keaton's Batman continuity in his timeline. Maybe if things go well, they do more sequels to the Flash movie, we'll see more Michael Keaton Batman characters from his Earth come back. Like Michelle Pfeiffer made it seem like she would love to come back as Catwoman, but I don't think that she's supposed to be in this new Flash movie. Right now, the movie's scheduled to come out in November next year, so we'll see more trailers and footage later this year, and also a lot of footage for the Matt Reeves Batman movie. I think I'm allowed to post my Suicide Squad movie review this Wednesday. The embargo should be up. Make sure you have alerts enabled for my channel so you don't miss that. I will do more Suicide Squad videos as the movie starts to come out. Once you do have a chance to see it, make sure you write your reactions in the comments below, but please do not post spoilers. Everyone click here for my new Loki video all about how Iron Man knew about Kang in the MCU. And click here to learn about the full plot of what Justice League Snyder Cut 2 and Justice League 3 would have been. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys tonight.